MLS here, we're going to talk about how to basically take leads out of the MLS and import them directly into the FreedomSoft system. You're going to be amazed on how easy this actually is. So basically, if you don't have MLS access, we've already spoke as far as how to get that type of access. If you do have MLS access, all you're going to do is come into your system and run a quick search. Your system is probably a little bit different looking than the one that you're looking at right now, depending on what state that you live in. So let me just show you how it works down here, and then you're going to just kind of have to figure out how your each individual MLS works. But they all should be functional as far as similar functionality. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is let's talk about getting some leads into the system. So I'm going to do a search. So I come up on the home screen, I click on the search button, and immediately I'm taken to another screen where I'm going to look for my search criteria. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for active properties. Now you can look for all types of stuff. You can bring in expired listings. You can bring in REO listings in certain areas and certain price ranges. You can bring in, short sale listings. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's on the MLS, you can basically bring it into the FreedomSoft system within probably a 5-minute thing as far as running a search and exporting it and importing it into the system. So what I do is I search for active. So I'm going to search for an active. I'm going to go into the county that we invest in, which is Hillsborough County. I'm going to come down and I'm going to do list price. So I want to look at, just for the sake of running it, I'm going to go ahead and let's do a minimum of $100,000. So I only want to bring in properties that are $100,000 and over. I also want the special provision. Let's go ahead and let's bring in bank-owned properties that are $100,000 and over. All right, so what it's showing me, there's 119 of them down here in the bottom. So I have 119. Now I want to break it down and leave it even a little bit more. So I want to look for, let's say that my investors that if I'm buying for certain people, or I can go ahead and I want to do a minimum of, let's say, 3 bedrooms. And I also want to do a minimum here of 2 bathrooms. And so that brings back 105 records. And what I'm doing here, guys, is you're going to be able to search for your own, anything that you want. It doesn't make a difference. Right now we're just searching for bank-owned, like I said, and I'm trying to dig down inside the search as far as minimum bedrooms and bathrooms and square footage. Let's go ahead and do a minimum square footage of, let's do minimum here again. And let's do a minimum of 1,500. And that should get our match results down. Got down to 94. All right, and that should be pretty good. So that's 94 leads. They're going to be able to come in. These are all REO properties, REO bank-owned properties. The list price is $100,000 and over, and the minimum 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and 1,500 square footage. So whatever search you decide that you're going to run, you're going to go ahead and pick that criteria. So I went ahead and I picked this criteria for the sake of the search. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and I'm going to click on the results. I want to see what results look like. So I click on the results button, and what you're going to see on this page is that it's going to put me into what we call the FreedomSoft view. All right? And what I mean by a FreedomSoft view, you're going to see up here in this column, it says FreedomSoft. And the way that it says FreedomSoft is we actually built a view where I can go ahead and I can click on columns and I can go to and view this report. Again, these are the leads, and I can view them in a bunch of different things. I can have a custom, I can do a HUD report, I can do a residential sold grid, residential new grid, standard, Tampa grid, all these different grids that come with the actual system. And then what we did is we actually created our own. So the way that you create your own is you're going to find the area where the columns are. And if you see this icon right here, it's a column manager. So what I want to do is I want to click on the column manager, and it's going to bring up a screen here where I can go ahead and I can create a new column report. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to create a new column report, and you're going to label it FreedomSoft. Or your realtor that you're going to go ahead and get her to do this is going to go ahead and pick the fields that you're going to export out. So in my case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add or remove fields. What you're going to do is you're going to create a brand new column report. I've already created mine, so I'm going to just add or remove, and I'm going to show you the fields that we actually put in the column manager. So I click on add or remove fields, And what it's going to show me is it's going to show me these are all the available items on the left-hand side right here. These are all the available items that I can search for. All right. Now, what I did is I found just the basic information that I wanted to export out of the system. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get a pen and a paper, and you need to write down all of these different pieces that are going to come over in the export. It's not a lot of them. Address, we want to know what the address is, the city, the state, the zip code, the county, the agent's name, the agent's direct phone number, the agent's fax, the agent's email, the property type, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the square footage, the lot size, the homeowner association fee, the taxes, the list price, and the sold terms. All right, so those are what we've done. We basically is we grab them from this side and we bring them over into this selection. And once you choose the selection, and once you choose that these are the things that you're going to export out of these leads, then automatically these things are going to be auto-populated into the FreedomSoft system. All right, and then what you're going to do then is you're just going to name the grid. You can call it FreedomSoft, you call it whatever you want, but any time that you want to export information, you have to make sure that you're exporting it from this grid. All right, because otherwise the export is just not going to work the right way. So what we did is we filtered all the information that we wanted to come out to be inputted into our system, and then we went ahead and named the grid, and then I can go ahead and hit Save Changes. All right, so once I hit Save Changes, now you're going to see that that column, when I click down on the down arrow, it gives me that opportunity now. Oh, hold on, I must have clicked on a wrong button here. Okay, so when I click on this, I can go ahead and I can pick which one I wanted the information to be viewed. So I'm going to click on FreedomSoft, and that brings me the export, the view in which I want to export this information. So again, what we did is we took all REOs in a certain county, all over 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, all over 1,500 square feet. So what we're doing is we're targeting the list and the leads that we want to bring in to start making offers on. All right, so what I do now is I come down to where it says Export Data, and I'm going to click on the Export Data button, because now I know that I'm in the view that I want to be in, which is the FreedomSoft view. I have an Export Data tab on the bottom of my screen. I'm going to go ahead and click on the green tab next to it. It says that I have 94 records, so I'm going to click on 94 records. The data export format is always going to be comma delimited. It's always going to be comma delimited coming from the MLS. We don't have to compress the file. If you have more than 100 records, you're going to probably have to compress the file. But in this case, we have 94 records, so we should be pretty good. We're going to go to the next tab, and we're going to include, you always want to include the column headers, so then FreedomSoft knows what it is that it's looking for. So I want to click Include Column Headers, and then I'm going to go down and I'm going to click on that FreedomSoft view again. So select Export Grid Format. I want to include the column headers, and then I'm going to hit Next. And this is going to allow me to go ahead and save this. So I want to go ahead and save this. And I'm going to save this to my desktop. So I'm going to click on Desktop. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change this, and it's going to be MLS Export Training. Alright, so MLS Export Training. I'm going to go ahead and hit on the Save button, and that's going to save that file for me. Once that file saves, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into FreedomSoft,